What's up, everybody? I just wanted to do just a small little rant about something that happened to me the past 2 days in a row. This happened to me Monday, and it also happened to me Tuesday, and it's pretty infuriating. I twittered a little bit about it before, but I just wanted to get off my chest because a lot of people don't know about it. Some of you may be suffering from it, and it's something that everybody should know about. And what it is it's a thing that I call donut anxiety. Donut anxiety. Man, and it pisses me off. And it happened yesterday morning, and it happened this morning also. And let me talk a little bit about donut anxiety. Let me set the scene for you so I can tell you exactly what happened. Every morning I go in and I go to Dunkin Donuts, or sometimes I go to Starbucks, but this week I went to Dunkin Donuts, and the two coffee shops are right next to each other, and there's often left with the conundrum or the self-questioning of, did I make the right call? Well, this week I made the wrong call by going to Dunkin Donuts instead of Starbucks. And what often happens is the line and the parking is so bad at Starbucks that you just give in and you go to Dunkin Donuts. But since they're right next to each other, you can look, like you can park at Dunkin Donuts. The parking is really severe, and it's stressful, and people are beeping their horns and everything early in the morning, this and that. So I'd rather have Starbucks, but I go to Dunkin Donuts because of the ease of the parking, and there's not a long line, or the line isn't quite as long at Dunkin Donuts as it is at Starbucks. So when you're in line at Starbucks and you look across the street and you see Dunkin Donuts and people are just walking in, walking right out with their coffee, you think, wow, I made the wrong decision by going to Starbucks this morning. But when you're in Dunkin Donuts, looking across at Starbucks, and you misjudged, and now there's no line, and there's a few parking spaces opened up and everything, you are left thinking, wow, I'm here at Dunkin Donuts when I could be having Starbucks with the same convenience. But you basically flip a coin in the morning, or I flip a coin in the morning and make the decision whether I'm going to go to Starbucks or Dunkin Donuts. Yesterday morning, I went to Dunkin Donuts, and the line was about four deep. I was about four deep to getting to the register. Now, the guys that work at my Dunkin' Donuts are real cool. It's how do I put this, sort of an alternative lifestyle Dunkin' Donuts. The guys in there are crazy. Sometimes they dress up as characters, or they cross-dress and dress as women, which I'm totally cool with. They're real nice in there, and they always take great care of me. When I walk to the door, they're like, hey, what's up, medium black coffee? I'm like, yeah. They've got it ready by the time I go to the register. I give them the card or cash, immediately swipe. It's a real easy transaction, and I've got my hot coffee. Starbucks is a little more tedious. You don't really get your coffee as fast because the line's always about 8 or 9 deep early in the morning like that. Or, people are ordering fancier stuff at Starbucks. So you kind of give your order and you wait for it, and they haven't really figured out. I've been going there for a few years or whatever. There's just a different customer service aspect. The customer service aspect is better for me at Dunkin' Donuts because they recognize me and they see me when I walk through the door, and the guy gives me the heads up, and he's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, you going to have a medium black today with iced tea? I tell him no iced tea, just a medium black. Hey, thanks. Okay. Boom, it's there. I get out and I go. Now let's talk about what donut anxiety is. All right. It's a real problem. It happens sometimes several times a month, sometimes several times a year. And donut anxiety is when there's a person that's not really too donut savvy at the counter at Dunkin' Donuts, and it probably happens at other donut chain restaurants, and they want to get a dozen or 2 dozen for the office or for the school or wherever they're going, and they get to the front of the line and they're ready to order, or they think they're ready to order, and they're really not because they haven't really thought it out all the way. And they get what's donut anxiety. Let me tell you exactly what happens. They walk up there, say, hey, how can I help you today? And the person says, I'd like a Dunkin' Donuts, a dozen donuts. And they say, okay, fine. Well, what would you like? What specifically? And this is where the person runs into donut anxiety. They sit there and they start off strong. People start off strong and they're like, oh, give me a glaze, give me a Boston cream, give me a double chocolate and a chocolate glazed. And then the anxiety hits and they're panicking because the lines get forming behind them and they're not as prepared as they thought they were going to be. And they peter out with their selections at about 5 or 6, which means they still have another 6 or sometimes even 7 selections to make. And they panic and go into donut anxiety and don't know what to get. You know, they sit up there and they start strong. Okay, let me get a jelly filled. Let me get one glazed. Let me get an old fashioned. Let me get a chocolate. Are bagels included? Can I get a blueberry muffin? No. What else is a French cruller? Do eclairs and the twists, they count as 2. How many am I up to? I'm at 7. Let me get a cream filled, and people in line are like, oh my God, I just want a coffee. I just want to be able to get my coffee. Well, this person's panicking here with donut anxiety. An easy way to relieve donut anxiety, and it always happens with somebody that's a donut novice, or they don't know what they're getting, or they're getting it for a special occasion for the office or for school, and they haven't really thought it out. You know, there's people that get dozens a lot, and they know exactly what they want, and they go up there, and maybe it takes a couple seconds longer than the average customer, because people are in there in the morning, they want their coffee and their little breakfast sandwich or whatever they're going to do, and they're going to get out of there. It's not like the midday. It's not like, noon, where you're the only person in Dunkin' Donuts. You can sit there and stare at the selections or stare at the menu board and make a decision and take, as long as you want, because there's not a line behind you. But when you're in there, before 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and people are trying to get to work and people are trying to do stuff, have an idea of what donuts you want before you get to the counter. You can take a little Post-it note, jot it down on your phone, take a little scrap piece of paper. Girls are really good with that, making marketing lists and to-do lists and everything. And then they get to the donut counter and they peter out at 5 or 6 donuts, and it's a struggle to come up with the full dozen. And they'll often just give in and tell the person behind the counter, just put in whatever, which is a horrendous way to select donuts. If you know you're getting a dozen donuts tomorrow, take a piece of paper and write down the 12 donuts you want, and then when you get to the front of the line, you hand the guy the piece of paper or just read them off calmly, and that'll alleviate all your donut anxiety. Today, same thing happened, except it wasn't a lady, it was a gentleman who was probably some sort of salesman, or he had some type of office job where it was his duty to get 2 dozen donuts. I'm in there. I walk through the doors. The guy gives me the heads up, but there's only one person running the register. They got one person cooking the breakfast sandwiches and like a floater. So the guy says, hey, how you doing this morning? Hey, how are you? A medium black coffee? Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. So he's got it ready. I see it there behind the counter. The guy, lady that's up at the counter, she gets her coffee, she leaves, and this guy with the dress pants on and the pressed starch shirt and everything, he doesn't know what he wants. And it's about, 8:30 in the morning, and the guy is in full-blown donut anxiety. He's wondering how much they cost. He doesn't know whether you can get croissants or bagels with it, and he's asking a million questions. And now there's 3 more people behind me, and he's made 1 more selection, and 2 more people come through the door, and pretty soon the line at Dunkin' Donuts at 8:30, 8:15 in the morning is out the door. You can't close the front door because now the line's like 12 people. Full-blown donut anxiety. This guy wanted to do the right thing, bring the office girl some donuts, or bring some donuts for when he's getting his presentation ready, or whatever he's going to do at some office, or he's trying to sell people stuff, and he thinks he's going to be a big shot, show up with 2 dozen donuts, and he's not even ready to make his selection because he doesn't even know the basic rules of picking dozens. Like I said, it's happened to me twice. Now, tomorrow I'll probably go to Starbucks. Starbucks isn't lickety-split like Dunkin' Donuts. The parking's harder, and there's always a line of about 8, 9, 10 people, and they're ordering fancier drinks, which takes longer, and they're paying with their apps and stuff, so it's a different experience altogether. It's a toss-up. Sometimes I like the Starbucks coffee better. Sometimes I like the Dunkin' Donuts coffee better. But one last piece of advice before you let your donut anxiety ruin somebody else's day. If you're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts and do some sort of shopping, or you're going to Starbucks and you're going to refill your cards or your app, or you're going to buy some fancy water bottle or a mug that has the city name on it or something, man, do that like after 10 a.m. Do that like 11 or 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going to buy gift cards for people. Leave the coffee buying in the mornings to people that are ready to get in there and get out of there. You know? Check your donut anxiety at home. Check your fumbling for credit cards to pay for this stuff, or re-upping your Starbucks card, or, a discrepancy with the app or whatever. Do that in the midday block, or, late afternoon, when nobody's in a rush, nobody cares. When you go into a coffee place early in the morning, be ready. Have your money ready. Your cash or your card should be in your hand. It shouldn't be buried in your purse or in your wallet. Know what you're going to order, and get up in there and get out. Give your order, get your beverage, get your breakfast sandwich, swipe, give the guy cash, give the guy a tip, and get out. Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. If you're doing the dozen donuts, save yourself donut anxiety and save everybody else that's waiting to get a hot coffee in there by being ready to know which 12 donuts that you want. Okay? That's it. Wish me luck with my coffee the rest of the week. Thanks for watching. You got any comments on donut anxiety or any other, fast food pet peeves? Leave a comment down there. And thanks for watching.